Welcome everyone, Dylan Gemelli here today with a brand new video for you. So today we're going to talk about RAD140, also known as Testolone. But before we get into that, I have to reiterate that I am not a doctor, and anything that I tell you in these videos is for your entertainment purposes only. I'm not advising nor condoning you to use any of the things that we discuss, and what you do with this information is completely and utterly up to you. So let's get into this one. I know there's a lot of people that have been waiting for this video. Now, RAD140 is not technically brand new by any means, but it's newer in the SARM's world. Popularity really began in the last, 3-4 years, right around there, really 3. But it is definitely a newer SARM, and it's really unique even when it's compared to other SARMs. So I'm going to explain to you why and give you some comparisons to other SARMs and steroids and things of that nature throughout this video. Now, actually, with RAD140, the first official study reporting the discovery of it was actually back in 2010. Now, investigations that were made on RAD140 are actually really scarce, so we can only rely on what they have and user reports, which there's a plenty of out there. The problem, though, is with user reports, especially in the past couple years when this has really become an issue, is there's a lot of fake SARMs out there. And like I said, it's become more of an issue the last few years than it was prior to that. So sometimes the results you read and things that you hear about, they're really, really skewed. I just want to make that clear. Now, the name of RAD140 actually comes from the company that's developing it, which is Radius Health. So that makes sense why it's called RAD. A lot of people call it RAD. I never say that, I just call it RAD, but that you get the point. Now, let's talk about a little bit of research here that's been done on it. Now, in the studies involving RAD140, also known as Testolone, as I pointed out, testing was carried out really mainly on mice and monkeys. All right, but the results of these studies are very promising. So just for an example here, it was proven that RAD140 has a unique property of actually countering the prostate enlargement that's caused by testosterone use, which definitely makes it a perfect stacking agent for highly androgenic steroids that can cause this really, really undesirable effect. All right, now, when Testolone was given to monkeys, there was a drastic increase in lean body weight during the administration periods. Now, the increase in lean mass was dosage dependent. So with bigger doses, there was a more pronounced increase in lean mass and loss of fat tissues as well. So Testolone is a true SARM with all the properties that are expected from compounds of this kind, safety and effectiveness. So how exactly does it really work? Because I don't see a lot of people talk about this. Just like the rest of the SARMs out there, Testolone has a selective mode of action which allows it to have an anabolic effect without the side effects that are usually seen with anabolic androgenic steroids. Now, these side effects are going to be like prostate enlargement, suppression of testosterone production, possible hair loss, many others. These are the things that you see with steroids. This means that RAD140 interacts almost exclusively with the androgenic receptors in the muscle tissues and bones, but it doesn't activate these receptors in other parts of the body. So as a result of that, we get pronounced anabolic effects, but without side effects and the heavy amounts of suppression, which opens new possibilities for medical application of this instead of testosterone. What's more, due to the selective mode of action, RAD140 is safe for females too because it won't cause virilization or clitoris enlargement. Now, let's compare RAD140 to testosterone, all right? And I'm not going to sit here and tell you that RAD140 is better than testosterone, but I do want to give you some facts that show some differences there. Now, testosterone is considered as the perfect comparison template in terms of androgenic and anabolic effects of different compounds, where a ratio of 100 to 100 is your baseline. So in this regard, RAD140 has an impressive ratio of 90 to 1. All right? Now, this means that it's almost as anabolic as testosterone, just slightly under, but it lacks the androgenic effect, which is a very positive thing since most of the side effects associated to steroid use comes from their androgenic effects. Now, in addition to that, it's actually been determined that you would need 40% more testosterone for the same muscle growth as with RAD140, and yet it would take 60 times more of RAD140 to even start showing any prostate-related side effects. That's what they are saying in their reports and studies. I'm not completely sold on that fact. I just want to make that clear. I'm only giving you studies, and then I'm giving you my opinion. Now, also regarding the affinity to androgen receptors, studies shown that it has approximately 30% of the affinity seen with testosterone, and almost the same affinity as dihydrotestosterone or DHT. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you RAD140 is stronger than testosterone, can be substituted for testosterone, anything of that sort. But I am saying there's some interesting characteristics here, stacking them together, or, you know, showing how effective that it really is. I don't like to have my words mixed or come across the wrong way or be biased one way or another. I just want to give you the facts and then give you my opinion. So, I want to talk to you about some neuroprotective properties of RAD140. Now, few people know this, but testosterone and DHT have a natural ability to preserve neurons, and they have beneficial effects on neural health. So, it's not surprising that most neurodegenerative conditions out there, such as Alzheimer's disease, they take place in those with androgenic deficiencies. But, using considerable dosages of testosterone may pose other health threats on the long run. All right? Because it's going to cause certain side effects. And in the meantime, it's been scientifically proven that RAD140 exerts the same effects in the brain, making it an extremely useful compound for the prevention of neurodegenerative diseases. RAD140 will drastically reduce cell death after suffering a stroke. Now, all these neuroprotective, properties don't carry an immediate benefit for bodybuilding purposes. They're a very welcoming trait to many others. Now, just like the rest of the SARMs, Testolone presents very good opportunities to those with muscle wasting diseases, and androgenic deficiencies. Now, unlike anabolic steroids, which are used for the same purposes, patients will be able to take advantage of the same positive effects while avoiding most of the undesirable side effects. Now, logically, RAD140 or Testolone can render benefits to an athlete without the cost of prominent side effects seen with anabolic steroids. Particularly, RAD140 will drastically improve one's endurance and recovery, which will further lead to a considerable increase in lean muscle mass and strength. Now, RAD140 will be a great addition to any sort of a cycle where it will give all of these qualities without additional side effects. Besides, it can successfully be used solo in a long cycle since it causes very light suppression. Now, there are some side effects there. All right, one of the things that's most appealing about it, though, is that the side effects are far lower. Now, it will cause slight suppression. Not massive amounts, nothing like a steroid, but it is present, so you have to be aware of that. There is no estrogen conversion, but what I have seen some people report is they have shown slightly elevated cholesterol levels. Nothing crazy, nothing like a steroid, but I've seen it, so I've got to point it out. I've also had some people complain about slight liver elevation, but that's very, very rare that I've seen that. I really don't see that often. But just because I've seen a few people say it, and this could be related to fake SARMs that are out there, or it could be related to the actual compound itself. But being that I haven't seen it too often, that makes me, lean towards the fake side. But just knowing that that's been reported and the probabilities there, I have to point it out. Let's talk about dosing. All right. Now, you can dose this once a day. It's like a 24-hour half-life. So for men, 20 to 30 milligrams per day, 12 weeks is great. For females, I always have them go with 5 to 10 milligrams per day. I just feel like it's a little bit safer and smarter for a female to run like half the dose of a man. It's up to you what to do, but I've seen females respond extremely well to 5 or 10 milligrams a day. So that's RAD140 for you, Testolone. I just wanted to give you all the facts, benefits, side effects, everything that you need to know about it. So that being said, www.isarms.com/forums. You can also get me on the Evolutionary Forum as well as the Elite Fitness Forum. Dylan@isarms.com is where you can get me with all questions and comments. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. That being said, stay tuned for plenty more to come. Dylan Gemelli, signing off.